Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about the 4 biggest mistakes that people make with money. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Angela. I started the Money Messenger project as a way of imparting some of my knowledge with regards to money. I'm here to help you learn about money. Everything I teach you, I do myself. This comes from a 20-year background in financial planning. I help advisors to prepare financial plans for clients, which show people how to use their money in the best way to repay debt, invest and create wealth, and protect themselves with the insurances. So I'm also an investor myself. Everything I mention to you, teach to you about property or shares, for example, I also do myself. So I walk the walk and talk the talk. So let's get started. Today we're talking about the 4 biggest mistakes made with money. Biggest mistake number 1 that I see in financial planning is people not learning about money. We're all pretty much born equal. We all pretty much come from the same place. We're a clean slate is what I mean, is when we're born. What we learn throughout our life usually is dependent on what we enjoy or what we want to learn about. And quite often I see people that struggle with money. Perhaps money isn't their favorite subject. Perhaps it's not the most interesting subject to them. But the fact is, money is important. It's what makes the world go round. So you need to have a basic understanding of money. And unfortunately, it's not taught in schools or many households. It should be, but it's not. So quite often people don't learn about money unless they make a conscious effort to do so. That means reading about money, reading some books about money, tuning into videos such as this, learning from the Money Messenger. Google what makes up a good financial plan. What is a financial plan? What are the areas of money that you need to know about that matter? Your cash flow, your debt repayment, your savings, your investing, your retirement planning, your insurance, your estate planning. What do they mean? How can they help you? Learn about money, at least the basics. Afterwards, you can go and pay for financial professional advice from a financial planner, stockbroker, real estate agent, estate planner, solicitor. Those people are professionals and can help you at a fee, at a cost. Is the cost worth it? Of course it is, if you get good advice, because you can't possibly know everything about every subject in life. I'm not a plumber. I don't know anything about plumbing. I am more than happy to hire a plumber when I need one. Likewise, even about property. Although I've been working in financial planning, that doesn't revolve around property a lot. For those of you that know me, you'll know that I am very much into property investing. I love it. And it's been something that I've learned over the years from scratch because I wasn't taught about property in financial planning. That came from going to wealth creation seminars, reading books and books and books about it, learning from people. These days, listening to podcasts, Googling things about property, attending home opens, reading other people's stories, the Investor Property Magazine. It takes some time, but it also became a love of mine. So that's why I devoted the time to learn about it. So take some time to learn about the basics of money, your savings, your investing, your superannuation. Pay attention to it. For everything else that either goes above your head or takes too much time or whatever, pay for financial advice. Go and see someone that can help you with those parts. The worst thing you can do is just not learn about money and keep your head in the sand and hope it will get all better, because it won't. And it is your money, so it is important. You can pay a financial professional to help you, but at the end of the day, you still need to have a basic understanding of what they're advising you to do, so that you trust what they're telling you to do and you take it full force with conviction as to what they're teaching you. Problem number 2. Spending all that they earn. People spend too much these days. I see it so much in financial planning. I see rising personal debt levels, credit cards, personal loans, limited to nothing savings from most people. We can see in financial planning that people are spending more and more. Most people spend everything they earn. They try and save, which means they spend first and then save afterwards and wonder why that doesn't work. Most people spend all that they earn, or even more. When do people spend more? When they have credit card debt. If you have credit card debt right now, whether it's getting bigger or smaller or whatever, it means that you're spending too much money. If you don't have savings that are growing each week, it means you're spending too much money. If you live week to week, it means you're spending too much money. The way to get around that and the way to get ahead financially is to save first, spend second. not the other way around. It doesn't work. It rarely works, and it's so much harder. You have to be able to save a portion of your income. Otherwise, you don't have any money for a rainy day. You don't have any money for savings. You don't, as in investing. You don't have any money to pay for a holiday if you want to go without costly personal debt. You can't possibly invest and grow wealth for the future if you don't invest. To be able to invest, you need to be able to save. To be able to save, you need to not spend everything that you earn. It's simple mathematics. So a healthy budget should allow you to at least save 20% of your income. If you right now are not saving 20% of your income, start doing that first. Next payday, set up an automatic direct debit to send 20% of your income to another bank account, preferably with another banking institution, and do that first before you pay your rent, before you pay your bills, before you pay your petrol, before you buy groceries, anything. Do your savings first. If you hear 20% and you think there's no way you could possibly save 20% because you need all of your money for your expenses and then some, try it. You'd be surprised. Quite often us humans, we only spend what we can see in our bank account. So if it's there, you spend it. Likewise, cash in your wallet. If it's there, you spend it. If you save first, quite often you'll only spend what's left. So just try it. It works for me. It works for everybody else that is told to do it that way. It's been around since the dawn of time. Saving money is not a new invention. It's not a new philosophy. It's been around forever. Everybody must save a little bit of money in order to get ahead. You can't possibly spend everything that you earn each week. Number 3, the biggest issue I see at the moment is people with rising credit card debt. Personal debt, car loans. I'm seeing 25-year-olds with 50 grand's worth of credit card and personal loans debts. I'm not even talking about your HECS debts or your student loans. They're going up as well. But what I'm talking about is the debt that you take on by choice. In other words, credit cards, personal loans, car loans, even mortgages can actually be detrimental to your wealth because they're not tax effective. It's what we call bad debt. But when we say personal debt, we're talking about your credit card, your personal loans, your car loans. Those loans have huge interest rates attached to them. That's because the money is relatively easy to access. Quite often you don't need to put any security down. So the bank penalizes you by giving you a high interest rate. It's how banks make their money. People, don't make the banks wealthy. Don't pay credit card interest. Don't pay personal loan interest. Car loans, even that. Personally, I pay for cars with cash. I always have. My cars are not Lamborghinis, but they're nice and they're paid for with cash. And I don't use loans for cars because cars go down in value. Why would I borrow money for things that go down in value? Personal debt is crippling Australians and people around the world likewise. I see it increasing. I see it a lot worse than it ever used to be before. Even things like Afterpay, buy now, pay later. While some of those don't have interest as such attached to them, they're teaching people to buy things that they can't afford, which is the same predicament as people that went and got credit cards for holidays that they wanted to go on spur of the moment, or personal loans to be able to buy furniture for a house or something. Cash flow management is about being prepared. So when you're unprepared, if you don't have savings, that's when you reach for things, money at quick access, which is credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and whatnot. That debt will cripple you. It will send you financially broke. Quite often I see people that can't afford to save for a home loan. Maybe they're renting already out of the house. They can't afford to put a home loan deposit together. But when I'm doing their cash flow management in the financial plan, I can see what they're repaying towards personal loans and credit cards. And quite often that could be $200, $300, $400 a week. So on top of their rent, they're also paying $200, $300, $400 a week on other loan repayments. No wonder when you add those two together, there's nothing to then save for a home loan deposit or to get ahead financially to do some investing if you don't want to buy a home. If you didn't have that money to have to pay back to the banks, that money would be yours to be able to save for your future, for your emergencies, for future holidays, for whatever it is you need. So quite often people feel like they can't get ahead. It's because they're still paying for the past. They're still repaying the damage that they did in the past. So number one, yes, that has to be gotten rid of. That debt has to go straight away. But for those of you that don't have personal debt, as in credit card, personal loans, car loans, make a choice not to bring that into your world. Don't put yourself one step back. If you instead of had to repay $200 a week in car loans, credit cards, whatnot, if you didn't have to pay that back, you could start saving that $200 straight away. It's the same amount, the same thing. It's just going in two different directions. So make a conscious choice to keep it in your world rather than giving it to a bank. If you don't have that, then you're not repaying very high interest to the bank, to the lender, and you can get ahead a lot faster. Did you know that to save for the cost of a holiday, for example, say you want to save $5,000 for a holiday, you can save up that money actually a lot quicker than it will take you to repay a personal loan of the same amount. That's because if you take out money after the fact via a loan, you're going to be paying high interest rates to the bank. So you're going to be paying back your $5,000 plus money for your for the interest. And say over a 5-year term, for example, of a personal loan, a $5,000 holiday can actually cost you over $6,000 by the time you repay it. So don't do it. For those of you that have personal debt right now, your first point of call is to get rid of it. Once you get rid of it, you will feel the weight lifted off your shoulders. You will be able to breathe. You will be able to save that money, that exact same amount of money, no more, no less coming out of your budget. It's the same money. It'll just go into your bank account instead of paying it to a bank. So that there alone is one of the biggest mistakes we see with money these days. The number 4 biggest mistake I see made with money is people not investing. People buying stuff instead of investing. Why do you need to invest? The short answer is because you will only have as much money in your pocket as what you can save if you don't invest. When you invest, your money starts to earn money on top of the money. That money, if you keep investing it, earns money on top of money, on top of money, on top of money. That money is money that you haven't had to work for. When you go to your job, you're paid for an hourly rate for work you do. You can only ever make as much as you can either physically do, and then the money you take home, you'll only ever have as much as you can save. If you don't invest, you can't ever have any more money than that. Why do you need money? Money isn't everything. Money makes the world go round. It gives you a lot of choices in life. It helps you breathe and sleep easier and gives you choices rather than stress. So if you start investing, even just a small amount over a long time consistently can change your life and can be very unnoticeable to every person's budget. A small amount invested over a long period of time. If you invest rather than just buying stuff I mean is stuff that goes down in value, stuff for around the house, stuff, even holidays, stuff, trinkets, bits and pieces, tech gadgets, boats, cars, anything that doesn't go up in value is what we call stuff. Stuff that goes down in value will make you broke. Stuff that goes up in value will help you increase your wealth. So if you're buying stuff and not investing at all, and I mean more than just your superannuation, because that's kind of done for you with your employer. I mean out of your money. If you're taking home money and you're saving 20% of your income, which you should be, everybody should be, that 20% could be invested to make more money through interest and compound interest. When you make money through your investments, it's money that you're making that you didn't have to work for. And that's really when you can change the game when it comes to your wealth creation and your choices in life for you and your family. So to recap, the 4 biggest mistakes that I see regularly with money these days is 1, not learning about money. 2, spending all that you earn. 3, using personal debt, credit card, personal loan, car loans. And 4, not investing and just buying stuff. If you just learn about those 4 things alone, you will change your life. I hope you enjoyed what you were listening to today. If you want to see more, please subscribe to the Money Messenger website on www.moneymessenger.com.au. And I'll see you all next time for the next video. Thanks everyone, bye.